Alright, hello everybody. We're going to get started with a new game here today, Kerbal Space Program. This game's still in development, so it doesn't have a lot of the final features that it will have, but right now there is the planet Kerbin, there's a moon for Kerbin, and the Kerbal star. The point of the game is we're running a space program. Now my point here is going to be to eventually land on the moon, because that's pretty much all we can really do at the moment. There's going to be bases and stuff later that we can build, but right now the moon landing is going to be the focus, and returning safely to Kerbal, or Kerbin rather. This is the command module. Every single rocket needs one of those. There aren't that many parts available yet. We need a parachute to land safely. This is a decoupler which separates the stages in the rocket. We need that here because we cannot support more than the weight of the command module with this parachute, otherwise they'll just crash back down to the planet and they'll die. We're going to add an SAS module, which is basically an autopilot kind of thing that can help stabilize the rocket so we don't have to work quite so hard to deal with that. I want to add an RCS reaction control system fuel tank here, and let's turn on symmetry. This is the symmetry tool, so it makes it easier to place things in multiple places. We can just put those in the center there, I think, and that will be good. My goal in this episode is just going to be to get probably just suborbital, and we'll try for orbit of Kerbin later. Let's separate another stage here. I have played this game a little bit, but not a whole lot, so I am not an expert by any means. I'm not sure how high this is actually going to get us, but we'll give it a try. That's why we're trying this stuff. So let's get some of these radial decouplers so we can put some solid rocket boosters on this thing too to help get us off the ground initially here. Now, staging is all controlled. Let's get that centered here first. Staging is controlled here, so what we want to do is get this engine to fire with the solid rocket boosters, move that down there. Then this is the radial decoupler, so that will drop off the solid rocket boosters. This is the fuel tank. That's that decoupler there, so we'll be hopefully in space when we decouple there. And then finally, when we're returning back, we can just drop everything else off the rocket and hopefully land safely. So let's go out to the launch pad and try this out. Alright, so I'm going to turn on the SAS and throttle up for only the liquid fuel rockets have a throttle. The solid rocket boosters are just on or off. So SAS is on. We're good to go. Let's see what happens here. Those are our Kerbal crew down there. Trying to get them back home safe and sound here. Alright, this is going okay so far. Nice and stable. If we're actually wanting to go into orbit, we're going to want to turn the rocket at some point to face the east, but we're not going to do that in this flight. This is just kind of a proof of concept flight to see how we do with fuel. Alright, let's drop those off. They're going to just land on our launch pad. That's too bad. It doesn't really matter right now. There's no cost of anything, but eventually you actually will damage stuff, I guess, and have to repair it. So in the future we'll have to figure out a better way to deal with those. I guess if we were off course already over the water that just drop into the ocean. There's the moon, our eventual target. Let's take a look at the map and see how we're doing here. The apoapsis is the high point of an orbit, and this, as you can see, this is just a ballistic trajectory we're on right now. It's not going to be in orbit, and we're already through one of our fuel tanks, so this is definitely going to be a suborbital flight. See how high we end up going though. Definitely getting quite some altitude. Now the lower atmosphere ends at like 35 or 36 kilometers, and the upper atmosphere at around 70 kilometers. So we're going to get out of at least the lower atmosphere with this. We'll probably end up clearing the whole atmosphere, but we won't be able to burn into a stable orbit here, unfortunately. Alright, this is pretty much toasted at this point. Might as well turn the rocket a little bit, just to get out over sea a little bit more while we still have some fuel. And let's just do that. This is indicating the actual direction of travel of the rocket. So this is where I have it aimed, and this yellowish green thing is the actual direction of travel. So as you can see, we're not pointed in the same direction that we're traveling. Yeah, we're gonna get some pretty good distance out of this. If you look at this map here, you can see there is Kerbin and the orbit of the moon, or the mun. If we zoom way out, see our orbit around the sun here. Eventually, there's going to be other planets. Asteroids, I guess, are going to be added first. So we'd be able to, land on an asteroid. Let's separate this crap real quick here. We can use our RCS by turning on R here. Oh man, this thing is twitchy right now. Nice. I probably should have placed a couple of sets of RCS thrusters. There we go. There we go. And we can actually do some burning with these to try to get a little bit more thrust, get us away from the rest of that rocket there. But these have limited fuel as well. I don't know how much that's actually doing. How are we doing with our orbit here, or our flight, I should say. Just keep hitting that here for a little bit, see if we can get a little more distance out of this. Maybe we can actually 90 degrees is where I want to be headed, because that is the east. This thing is so twitchy. Alright, let's turn on. Ugh, come on. There we go. And we'll just use up this fuel, why not? See if we can. Yep, that's moving it down. We're not going to get anywhere near orbital speeds. That's like, at this altitude, it'd be like 2,200, maybe 2,300 meters per second. So we're not going to get anywhere near that, but we probably will get kind of out to sea this way a little bit more. And the planet's weird looking. I mean, this is basically just Africa. Like, everything looks like continents on the actual Earth, but just kind of screwed up. For some reason that was getting us way, it's the atmospheric drag, I think, that's bringing us down, isn't it? Or not atmospheric, it's just we're out of the atmosphere. It's just the gravity pulling us back down. Yep. Alright, let's just ditch everything here then and just be our little capsule. Oh man, that thing is spinning like crazy. Let's do some time compression here too to get this, because otherwise it's going to take forever to land. Alright, so hopefully our parachute's going to work out here. I don't quite want to open it yet. Let's wait till we hit like, I don't know if it really matters that much, but I'm going to wait till I hit like 50. Yeah, that's probably good. Alright, so it's opened. Nothing has actually happened with it because there's not enough drag in the atmosphere yet. But we are falling straight down now. That's good. We're right over it. This X is our actual direction of. It's the opposite direction of the module's pointing. The module, top is pointing this way. There we go. And that thing's just whizzing now. So hopefully we won't have our first Kerbal deaths of this series here. This one okay. At a pretty good altitude. If we had a slightly bigger rocket, we would have had enough fuel to get into orbit actually with that easily. So that's going to be the next goal, is to do a couple of orbits of Kerbin. And the Kerbals are looking kind of worried, but we'll be alright. Losing speed pretty decently. The parachute has not fully deployed yet, but it will, I'm sure. I don't think that the parachutes actually fail unless the thing weighs too much. I think they pretty much always work. How far did we end up getting from the space center? Some distance. See what I mean about it looking like Africa, and there's like a weird Iberia we got this under control here. They're looking still a little worried, but more relieved. He's pretty excited, though. Cormand. Eventually, crews will matter. Like, you'll be able to recruit better crews. I guess there's going to be resources and money. Alright, we're fully deployed now. I think we should be good. Yeah, I think as long as we get under 13 meters. Yeah, there we go. I think we'll be alright landing in the ocean. Let's wait and see, though. Like I was saying, they're going to add resources, mining, I guess. Well, I don't know if it's mining exactly. Some sort of resource gathering. You'll be able to build moon bases, I guess dock with other ships that have multiple missions going on at once. You already can have multiple missions going on at once, actually. If you go to the Space Center, I'll show you that. You can control multiple missions, but there we go. We made it. Success of sorts. So we can actually go to the Space Center right now and go to the tracking station, and you can see these are our missions that are currently going right now. There's only one, and it gives us the status is that they splashed down back on the planet. So that went okay, and we'll go ahead and modify this rocket next time, and hopefully we'll get into orbit.